Doing good.
How's it been getting to know your new coach, Aaron Glenn?
It's been great, man. Getting a chance to talk to him about things on the field and off the field, and what his standards is, what he expects out of us, and what he expects out of me. And I got a chance to have conversations with him, and it's been all good. So.
Aaron's talked to us about.
You went to the Masters?
Yeah.
It's great, huh?
You got?
Amazing.
You went down there?
Yeah, I went down there this last one, but.
You went 31st in a row.
For real?
Yeah.
Congratulations. Oh, man, boy. To go that many times, that's amazing.
Not bragging.
Yeah, he definitely was bragging just then. That was a big flex. 31 times? Oh, my goodness.
What Aaron was talking about a lot is culture, trying to set culture here. What specifically are you noticing out of him and what his culture he wants to be here?
Hard-nosed football. It's one of those things that he believes in toughness. He believes in execution. He believes in being smart when it comes down to executing the plays and then not penalizing yourself. So his standard was set from day one, and it hasn't been broken ever since he said it. So it's one of those things that's bleeding off to the captains and bleeding off to everyone on the staff, everyone in the organization, everyone on the field. So it's one of those things that I'm kind of super happy about and super proud about the carry. So
He said he's had 100% participation yesterday. He thought today. Is that normal? I mean, since we're not out there, is that a higher percentage of guys being out for an OTA than in past years for you?
I really don't know. It's amazing to have 100% participation. That just goes to show you the belief we have in the new staff, the new head coach, and the new regime and the new organization, the way we want to get this thing going, especially the guys who've been here for the last 2-3 years or 4 years and wanting to go in the right direction and winning football games and doing the things we can do to win football games. And not only that, but clean up some of those mistakes that we got personally, especially myself, to go in the right direction and being the player that we all know we can be. So.
Quinnen, you were in Greg's defense, and you were in Robert and Jeff's, and now this one.
Yeah.
What is this one doing that's maybe different than what you've done in the past? Seems like it's a lot more active.
I'm still learning, and I'm still trying to see where I can be my best at and be myself at. And I'm just enjoying the moment right now, enjoying learning my new defensive line coach and new head coach and new defensive coordinator, and just seeing what they see for me in my future and telling them what I feel like I'm good at, what I feel like I'm bad at, and they just telling me what I'm bad at and what I'm good at, and just trying to get on the same page and go in the right direction right there. So
you mentioned the mistakes that you made. Specifically, what do you want to work on, and what were some of those mistakes?
A lot of mistakes, man, especially when it comes down to the run game and block shedding and extension in my arms, finishing my pass rushes, pad level, different things like that I kind of, I guess, struggled with last year, and just want to be able to get better at it and like fine tune some things this year so I can be a better player in those aspects. So
when the Jets, I think it was when you guys released Aaron Rodgers, you did something like another rebuild for me.
Yep.
Was that a sense of frustration in that moment? And Aaron's been pretty clear, like the Jets could win now. Do you no longer feel that way after being around Aaron Glenn?
I definitely think it was an immature thing for me to do at the moment, out of emotions, out of frustrations. It's definitely immature, and ever since, and I haven't talked to Aaron previously to that, and just looking at it and trying to grow as a leader, trying to grow as a player, trying to grow as an adult. Talking to him, talking to the staff and everybody else just gave me a super excited and super confidence that we're going in the right direction to win football games and to do the things that I want to do, like to change the whole narrative of the New York Jets losing streaks or the playoff streaks and different things like that, because I was drafted here a long time ago, and I was paid to help change this thing around, and I wear that with a badge of honor and like a cape to make sure that before I leave this game, the New York Jets is going to be on top. The New York Jets is going to be the football team to watch. So I kind of live there every single day, and I kind of want everybody around me to be that. So definitely back to that tweet, definitely it was an immature thing to do at the moment, and I've grown for that. Me and Aaron talked a lot about it. Me and the GM talked about it a lot, man. Me and the coaching staff, we all on the same page and stuff like that. So I'll take full accountability on that and definitely go in the right direction. So
Part of that is probably the new quarterback, Justin Fields, has probably brought some excitement to you, I imagine. What do you thought?
Definitely, man. Definitely. A guy who can run extremely fast like that, a guy who can make bombs down the field, and the different great things that he brings and to the aspect of game to come down to a dual threat quarterback. I feel like he's one of the top 5 dual threat quarterbacks, or one of the top 10 dual threat quarterbacks in the league right now. So the aspect of he's probably one of the fastest people. I chased him a couple times today, and I was like, yeah, he's fast. So I think that definitely brings excitement. There's his attitude on wanting to win also, and wanting to show the world and things that he can do that we all know he can do. So
Why do you think you kind of mentioned you've been here for a while, so you've seen a lot of this new regime, this new coaching staff. Why do you think this time's going to be different? Why is it going to be different than the other ones you've been a part of and you guys are going to start winning?
It'll be unfair for me to say it'll be different or it's going to be this way or that way. I just know right now, in the moment, it's going in the right direction to win games by the standard that Coach has set for us, by the standard that he gave us, and the path that he's putting us on to be successful. Like, it's a long way to first game right now, but I feel like on the path that we're going right now is going to be successful if we just listen to him and follow his path. And the coaching staff also, I feel like all those guys are on the same page with teaching us and helping us get better as individuals first and then as a unit. So,
But how do you not let the losing get to you? Right? Like you say, you've been here for a long time. And I'm sure the frustration is tough to control. How do you handle the losing and not let that beat you down?
Like I said, I'm still maturing. I'm still learning how to grow mentally on the field and off the field. And it's just one of those things, like every single day I just read. I start reading a lot now, golfing a lot, and just communicating with people who help me just kind of get better at certain things like that. Like, don't focus on the losing, focus on winning every single day. Focus on the process. And Coach Saban's a big guy about the process, so I kind of reverted back to that and just dealing with certain things off the field that kind of keep me on the right path on being the leader I should be, to bring other guys along and to be that bright light when adversity hits. So.
How did you feel about Giovanni, that whole experience with Giovanni being here and the three of you being in the building at the same time? How special was that?
It was super special. It was super amazing, man. He's a great football player, man, a great guy on the field and off the field, and I definitely hope he gets his opportunity in this league one day. So.
What made you sign here?
It was mutual. Obviously, the interest in coming back home, being part of something great with Aaron Glenn at the helm, and obviously his history of defense, and then Coach Wilkes as well. And being that this defense has been great for the past few years, it was a no-brainer.
Andre, what attracted you to Aaron, first of all, and second of all, he's trying to create a culture here as a new coach and whatnot. I'm curious, as a follow, what are you seeing as that culture?
Yeah, the culture here is it starts in the building, so just creating a good culture within meetings and really understanding our teammates, what kind of guys we got around us, and then coaches serving players, players serving coaches, in terms of making it a whole puzzle and everybody being part of that. So in terms of what attracted me to AG was just his history with the back end, and obviously his vision for that has been fruitful in the last few years.
Were you a Jet fan growing up, or were you both?
No, I was a Jet fan for the most part. I can't tell you why. But I leaned into being a Jet fan way more than a Giant fan. When the Giants won the Super Bowl, I was happy, obviously being from New York. But honestly, probably what it was we came to games a lot. So my mom was able to get season tickets through a job, so I popped up at a few games here.
And you used to go to Hofstra? Is that right, or you would just go here?
So I never formally went to a Hofstra camp, but I was at Hofstra for summer camp. So I would always see the Jets and all the stuff that was set up for training camp. So I obviously recognized everything.
What's been your impression of Justin Fields so far? I know you guys obviously are different sides, but as a leader and a quarterback and all that, what do you thought about Justin?
Yeah, I know Justin from when we first came in pre-draft, so we trained together out in LA. So we spent a ton of time. We have the same agent, so me and Justin already kind of had a relationship going into this, and so obviously excited for him to be my quarterback. I know that he's a great dude, genuine, humble, and hardworking. Like I said, we spent a lot of time working out together, so I'm excited to be on the same wearing the same colors. I've never played him in the NFL, so I don't know what that's like. I heard it's a challenge, and going against him in the first few days, I could definitely see that.
Aaron was just in here talking about how you could be a leader, that you have a lot of the things, a lot of the qualities he likes. And I remember it became a pretty big story in the NFL last year when you, called out your teammates' effort in Jacksonville. What does it take to be that kind of leader when you come into a new team? The nerve that it has, or the confidence it has to be able to do something like that for your team?
Yeah, for me, it's really not about leading with words. First of all, just actions. So I try to come into work every day and just be consistent. I think one of the things that happens with football and everything in general is just first day enthusiasm and then kind of dies down after that. I try to emphasize being that kind of guy every day. So that's kind of what I lead with. And, in terms of calling guys out, that's not my style all the time. I try to, be more one-on-one, but sometimes emotions run high. That's kind of what happened there.
What could this secondary do? Like, obviously, Sauce, Stevens is new. Like, what could this secondary look like for the Jets?
Yeah, I think we should set the bar in terms of like what it looks like high level around the league. I think guys should be able to look at this secondary as the play style and the effort, the smartness in terms of IQ. We should be able to set the bar high in this league, and so I'm excited to have this chance, and it's already felt really good and really natural.
What's it like for you to be back in the area?
Being back in the area it's been seamless, honestly. Like, I think sometimes you move cities and it feels like, just whole transition of changing mindset, places, and learning the people. And for some reason, obviously, because I'm from the area, not directly New Jersey, but living here has just been natural, and the air feels better. And so, yeah, I'm happy to be back.
You're the first person to say New Jersey air.
Yeah, I look. Being from the Northeast, like I embrace the crispiness and the cold mornings. So.
Did you have any Jets jerseys as a fan growing up?
I did not own a Jets jersey. No, I can't say I have.
Did you have any guys that I like that guy?
I say Mark Sanchez. I always leave with Mark Sanchez just because he was at the helm and like he was super popular, especially in my hometown around the Latino community, people that I knew. So I always just said Mark Sanchez to begin. Yeah.
How much is different for you guys with this? Is this blocking scheme a lot different from a year ago? Is what they're asking from you guys up front different from a year ago? I mean, what are the changes so far with Tanner?
No, I mean, it's definitely different. I feel like, every coordinator is going to have a different way to do things. So yeah, it's a little different for sure.
How so?
Just schematics. Can't get into the details, but but it's definitely different in that case. But not anything that we can't handle for sure.
So you will look at the investments, draft picks, or contract that the Jets have made on the offensive line and say this could be one of the 5 best or one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. Do you feel that way? Do you guys own that, or do you not embrace that kind of?
Right. I mean, obviously, you try not to pay attention to like the outside noise, but me personally, I think that we can be one of the better groups, in the NFL, and that says a lot. But I do have the confidence in this group to be able to have that title. So
the Jets over the last few years have had like year-to-year continuity with the O-line, but you bring back 4 or 5 starters, adding a first-round pick. Like how exciting is that just to have everybody back?
I mean, it's big time, just for like you said, like the continuity, just like the gel and stuff like that. Just having the guys and knowing each other and knowing our playing styles and stuff like that, being able to work off of each other without even saying a word sometimes. I mean, it plays a big role in who you got next to you for sure. So I think it's a big deal.
How's it been getting to know your new quarterback?
It's been great, man. Good dude. He's quiet, but he's one of those guys that's going to speak with his play, and I'm excited to see him play for sure.
So does it change your job at all, John, when you have a mobile quarterback? Obviously, you played with a pretty good one in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now what Justin can do with his legs. Does it change the job on the offensive line?
Oh, yeah. You got to block longer, and ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? You got to block as long as it takes for him to get the ball out of his hand. And, that's our job at the end of the day, so you got to do that for sure.
Do you see any similarities between him and Lamar when you watch him play?
Athlete. They're both athletes. That's about it.
And we're talking to Aaron a little bit, and he's been, since he got here, he's talked about a culture that he wants to set here. I know it's just early days. I'm curious, what do you see as that culture that you're trying to build, if you can describe it in words, and if you see it starting to take hold? Maybe
Oh,
you
yeah.
mentioned you got 100% participation the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it doesn't happen everywhere.
Right. No, the culture here is you can see it coming along for sure. You got a lot of good guys in this building, and a lot of guys that kind of have the same mentality, and that's where it all starts. And they brought in some guys that has the same mentality. Now I had the opportunity to talk to some of those guys. We're all on the same page, so it's just great knowing that we got that collective thought process of getting the job done and doing whatever it takes to win.
What's your impression of him, your early impressions? I don't know if you knew much about him.
Yeah, I think he's cool as hell. I think he's like a leader. He's one of those guys that he don't really have to say much just by his presence, and you kind of like, okay, like this is a guy I want to follow, and that's all you can ask for in a coach, if you ask me. So.
One of the new guys you guys have brought in is Josh Myers, a veteran guy. What did you see from him?
He's super smart. He's one of those guys that you can just draw something up for him and he can figure it out. Same goes for Tip. You know, those guys they're battling their asses off right now, just competing. And you know, they both like super intelligent, and you know, just fighting. They're warriors.
How's it been getting to know Mimbu a little bit and just kind of what you've seen from him a little bit on the field?
Yeah, he doesn't talk a lot either, but I'm gonna get it out of him eventually. But he's one of those guys too, man. That's gonna work. I didn't really say much to him the first day, you know, but he's been trying his best to get the understanding of everything and figure things out. He's been doing a good job. Like I said, he don't really talk much, but he plays like he talks a lot. For sure.
Did you know Justin Fields at all in high school? Meaning you guys were big recruits out of the South around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any interaction with him?
I did not know him in high school or anything like that. We played a few times in the playoffs in college, beat him. But but no, I didn't know him before.
While you're out on the practice field, the NFL created a Protector of the Year award. I don't know if you've already heard of that.
Yeah.
To honor an offensive lineman. What are your thoughts on that? Because obviously you guys kind of fly under the radar.
Yeah, 100%. Just like you said, we go under the radar a lot, and a lot of our good blocks go unnoticed. And to have an award like that, that'll point out guys that are great at what they do, and I think it's huge for us. It gives us a little more of an edge to want to go out there and dominate who's in front of us. Obviously, that's what we want to do anyway. But it just it gives us that extra oomph. Like, yeah, I want that award for sure. I know I want it.